Greetings, Modernism in the Museum students. Welcome to week 6. Is it possible that we are so close to the end of our journey? This week, we are going to be exploring the political implications of the museum space as a public space. Something that we've talked about briefly in the first week and the second week, with the emergence of the art museum within modernity, the public space, the role of the public forum, of democracy, of a republican government, of argument and the development of a broad-based literate public who not only can, but their responsibility to participate in self-governance is messy. And we see this within the history of modern and cultural practice in France, the toggle back and forth in the 19th century after the French Revolution and the fall of the monarchy, and the stability of the church and the state and its kind of unique embeddedness, companionship, you could say, between the crown and the altar. When that crumbles after the French Revolution, you have a dictatorship, you have Napoleon, you have the struggle, you have a revolution, and then the struggle for self-rule and the fall back to dictatorship and the monarchy, and you have the important role that the public forum plays. And the art museum, from the very beginning of the exhibitions and the salon, the art museum is a public space in which the community's values are visualized, are imaged. Particularly with the church and the state in traditional academic painting, but with the development of the avant-garde and modern artistic practice, the belief that the visual arts, as well as the other creative arts, can participate in not just reflecting and representing power, but in undermining it, critiquing it, transforming it, in participating in social and political transformation. And so the art museum exhibition space becomes and remains a volatile place where competing, contradictory, opposing audience constituencies talk to each other, scream at each other, in which images can be used for political purposes. And the art exhibition space then is one of those powerful potential places. And something that perhaps you can do this week is do an internet search on and find the kinds of controversies that have emerged. The Whitney Biennial last year in New York, with the representation of certain imagery that the artist, and a Western European white artist, was representing a dead African American child who had been killed. The controversy that emerges in the representation of individuals that are volatile, are aspects that are very much a part of the art museum, and that are often seen as one-off controversies that are unique, but they're not unique. And the art museum is that place where those conversations get worked out in many different ways. And so this week we'll be exploring that. We'll be looking at the political implications of the Louvre. We'll be looking at the role that the Museum of Modern Art played in the Cold War in the 1950s and 1960s. We'll explore how the museum does its work. I've included in the readings a museum guide that I that I produced for an arts organization in Charlottesville, Virginia. And I've included a PDF document from the Smithsonian Institution to give you a sense of how museums understand the work that they do. And the aspect of the political implications of art, the broad-based social relevance of artistic practice, not just in the context for art lovers, but how politicians pick it up, how works of art that come to the public's attention through public exhibitions that are picked up upon by politicians who then use the work in order to facilitate and to further their public agendas. So in the cultural wars in the 1980s and early 1990s, the exhibition of Robert Mapplethorpe in Cincinnati, the exhibition of Andres Serrano's Piss Christ photograph, the Brooklyn Museum Sensations exhibition that featured a Chris O'Feely painting of a African Madonna that elephant dung was utilized. All of those images, all those works taken out of context by conservative Republican politicians and mobilized and weaponized in a broader public controversy or a public means to support certain political agendas. And that is how works of art have been used and have come to public attention throughout the Western tradition, particularly in the development of modernity, in which art is seen as reflecting either the transformation of culture, the representation of reactionary views of it, or means by which it can be changed. And so this week we'll be exploring that, and I'm looking forward to exploring that with you. Have a great week, and I hope these brief comments are helpful to you, and I will be back again on Friday, Good Friday, to be able to address an event in much closer detail. We'll be looking at the Brooklyn Museum Sensations exhibition that caught the attention of Rudy Giuliani, that caught the attention of politicians in New York, and utilized a particular work of art in a particular painting by Chris O'Feely that we'll explore in more depth. Have a great week. Take care.